What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler, and yeah, weird thing for me to be in front of the camera talking to you guys again, but I recently got an email from an independent filmmaker named Matt Torrey because a few years ago I reviewed his first film for Amazon Prime, We Make Movies. And if you have Prime, check it out, it's a pretty decent mockumentary. But he has this new series out on Prime right now called The Beach Boys that are 8 episodes, they total into about an hour in length, and they center on two pool cleaners who think they're a lot better at their jobs than they really are. And the neighborhood that they work in are trying to complain to the homeowners association to replace them with their former business rival Cedric, played by the director himself, Matt Torrey. And all the while, the main pool cleaner, Trey, is having this really awkward crush on a new neighbor named Callie that, yeah, where do I start on this? Wow. So let me start with the positives. For starters, the acting all around is pretty good. J.J. Carroll and Zach Castle, who play Trey and Ethan, do have some nice chemistry, and you do buy the fact that they are friends, even though Trey is this very egotistical, self-centered dumbass, and Ethan is a good person per se, but is not exactly the brightest person, and even though he kind of knows that he's being taken advantage of, he still follows through on his actions. It's one of those friendships that you see in real life and you wonder why. And as a director, Matt Torrey does some brand new comedic techniques that I haven't seen him do before, where he does one episode in particular that almost the entirety of it feels like a Jane the Virgin episode, where there's a narrator, he's commenting sarcastically on basically what characters say, and the narrator's like, yeah, whatever, here's what really happened. And and yeah, like I said, Jane the Virgin does that already, but it's such a funny and clever technique that I do kind of wish more shows would use that. And another episode that, again, is almost entirely a mockumentary that feels like a Michael Moore movie, but in a good way, because there's a clear bias. They're trying to make this enemy Cedric out to be a bad guy. They've clearly tweaked around editing and asking questions in order to work in their favor, and whether they were trying to or not, it does feel a little satirical in that way. And I gotta be honest, I do wish that Tori stuck with the mockumentary format for this show, because on the whole, it really does feel like it's basically the same story and characters as We Make Movies, except it's just in the pool cleaning business. Because when you get down to it, you can basically fill in the blanks with each character. And the main character is egotistical, he's self-centered, he wants to accomplish so much, but he never puts in the work. His best friend, who is polite but dumb, does all of it for him and takes crap for it either way. There's a former rival and a friend who want to join in and help him, but the main character turns them down because they have better ideas than he does. And I'd be fine with that. I got no problem with directors replicating styles and character tropes. It's clear that Matt Torrey does find these situations funny if he did it over again, but if he stuck with the mockumentary format and kept these losers who think they're geniuses, honestly, I thought it would have been a lot funnier. And the other thing I wish he would have done was make these episodes more than 10 minutes. I don't know if that's a Prime restriction or if that was all he could do, which I totally get that. I mean, I have a time limit on my videos based on storage and other things I've got in my life, so I can understand that. But in terms of the finished product, the jokes and the scenarios and the character arcs do feel really rushed. Like, there's an episode involving a dead dog being found on the premises that is kind of sort of their fault, and I would have liked to have seen a flashback explaining how that would have happened in the first place. You would have seen the setup, you would have seen the punchline happen. It would have been dark as hell, but it would have been funny too. And I can understand the restrictions that come with doing something like that. Maybe they couldn't find the right dog, maybe it would have been dangerous to do it in the first place, but overall, it did feel incredibly rushed. And while it definitely did have some moments involving the disposal of the dog, those jokes themselves were kind of more shocking than they were laugh-inducing. Like, I was sitting there looking in the camera and I'm just like, oh my god. And if that's the reaction they're going for, it worked, but I gotta be honest, there were some moments where I was hoping to, like, laugh out loud a lot more for it, and either because maybe there were some budgetary restrictions or maybe because they just didn't think it would have led anywhere, it didn't amount to that much. And wow, the romance in this show did not work at all. And it's clear as day that it wasn't supposed to, but even by those standards, it's incredibly flat, and the jokes that they come up with were really predictable. Like when someone says, hey, I like this, you like this, we have so much in common, and I'm just like, Why would you say that? It's jokes like that that are really easy to come up with, and I really wish they didn't go for that. And I gotta be honest, the actress playing Callie, that she did not work for me. I'm sure she was supposed to be flat and boring, and I'd be flat and boring if I was being hit on by someone as big of a douche and as awkward as hell as Trey was, but I still don't really find anything all that funny about it. I really did want to like the Beach Boys more than I did, and there are some moments where there were some legitimately funny moments, and the actors, for the most part, were all good. It's just there wasn't enough time given to each episode for me to really latch onto these characters, or really to find it even all that funny. And again, if you stuck with the mockumentary format, I feel like the style and presentation would have fixed those problems. So, for me personally, I wasn't a big fan of the show, but if you want to give it your best shot, it is on Prime. The episodes total up to only an hour, so even if you don't like it, it's not going to cost you that much. Well, guys, thank you as always for watching, and thank you to Matt Torrey for presenting me with this opportunity to review the show. I wish I had better things to say, but any future projects that you have, I look forward to hearing about them. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at NoPerfectMovie.com, and thank you once again for watching. Take care.